Hi. Mm, Oh, what is happening?
Hi.
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 Hi. So, who can share the screen for see the different sentence? Does anyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, what I did. Okay. So in the number one, the first mistake that I see is in this part. I don't know. I think that it can be in commonplace, but I don't know how can change it. How mm, and well, what do you think?
Mm, well, I didn't see that because despite needs a comma to separate the two sentences when the connector is at the beginning. So I thought that it was correct, but now
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm,
Yes, I thought the same, that it was
okay.
correct. But I have a doubt in the first sentence
Mm-hmm.
about sadness. It is correct.
I don't know. I think that there is a mistake.
Hmm. Yeah. Let me.
Maybe it's like the last mistake of the other document that we checked, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Mm,
Okay. So maybe sadness. Sadness se escribe así, ¿no? O-
Es que creo que ahí se refería como a entristecido o algo así, ¿no?
Ajá.
ajá, pero no sé si existe el verbo así.
Yo lo busco. Well, I look for it and it exists.
Mm,
Tristecido. Hmm. Pero entonces lo dejo así como sadness o lo pongo así como sad. He is sad.
I don't know. What did you write, Olin?
He is sad by the look.
I think I told it wrong because I wrote he was sad, but now I
Because of
give
the
it more attention and it's in future time frame, so
yes.
that was wrong.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, lo voy a dejar así. Ya, pues ahorita, pues terminando con los otros, pues vamos bien.
Yes. Yes.
Y what others mistake that you see? A pesar de que
I think that into
fueron
it has to be like a
Mm-hmm.
join, or I don't know how to say it, but because he or she wrote he will give in to an idea. I think that it has to be together into an idea.
Yes, it has to be together.
And
Mm-hmm. So, what? Ah, o sea, le cambio que le cambio.
que esté junto porque está separada. O sea, el into,
Into.
ajá, está.
Ya. Así.
Sí.
Ok. Into an idea that has been seen. For a long time. From all the van. See a thing too. They only will interest. I think that it's only missing in this.
Yes, I think that's all.
Mm-hmm.
In the second one, I change the connector. I wrote so instead of the first and a comma, and like the wife will see the man in a terrible condition, comma. So she is going. She is going to run into the door to obstruct the way, and will not instead of don't. I wrote will not.
Yeah, will not.
Let the man get out, and that's all.
She's going round into the door to obstruct the way. And what did this? I didn't listen to you.
I wrote will not.
Will not.
Uh-huh.
No sería won't?
Will not or won't is the same.
And won't let the man get out. She led her husband to clean and shave it. Okay. My husband is going to work tomorrow. He will kiss me in the morning while I will be cleaning the house. Furthermore, my husband will be sad because his work will have him teed up. Maybe we can change this furthermore to however. Or what do you think? Or what other changes that you can consider? Because in all this part, I think that it's right.
Well, I didn't change that one, but I
it's hard to see.
All right. Let's check now. All right. So what is the first problem you noticed in number 1, Laura?
Well, we noticed that in the first sentences, he's saddened by the lack of communication with his wife. We drop is and put will.
Will plus what?
He will saddened it.
Okay, but it's not possible to have will
Okay.
and past. Something happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so this verb is in present. Give me that verb in future. What is the future of is?
Be. He will be.
Exactly. He will be saddened. That's possible.
Yeah.
Because this is a future time frame. So that is the first problem.
Yes. He will be sad.
Okay. So, Jessica, what is the next problem you noticed?
They seem to be strangers. It's not in future.
Okay. And what do you want to say?
They will sing.
They will sing. But
strangers.
Said, notice any problem before this one?
Me? Sorry? Sahil?
Notice any problem before this?
Yes, Professor. They use despite as a preposition. Use a sentence.
We have a sentence, so what should we use instead of despite?
I use although.
Although, good. And then, is there any other problem you noticed, Victor? Before we reach this one, before this.
I noticed that we have to put a comma before and or drop the subject.
Where are you?
Sorry?
Where are you? In what part of the text are you?
I thought they had been married for so long and they...
You want a comma here? Here?
Yeah, because Andy's a fanboy.
Yes, it's a fanboy, but this is part of the concession.
Oh, yes.
So we have although X and Y, something happened. So these two are sentences because of although, but both are part of the concession adverb clause. So the comma here is not necessary.
Okay.
But we have another problem. And that is why I gave you the context.
maybe although they will have been married, talking about future.
They will have been married, exactly. We need to use the future. All the text should be in future, obviously adapting the tenses. Although they will have been married for so long and they will love each other, they will seem to be strangers. Is it clear now?
Question, can we drop they?
Can we what?
Drop they, that day?
Yes, you can. This is optional. But you have to repeat will. That is for sure, because this is another tense. This is the future perfect, and this is the simple future. So they is optional. All right. Mildred, any other problem, number one?
I didn't find another problem in number one.
Okay, so you don't care that this is in future? Did you notice that this is not in future? That this is not in future? So for you, that's no problem?
Yes.
Okay. So try to remedy that. That is why this homework was so specific. I gave specific instructions. Write the story in 3 different time frames: in present time frame, in future time frame, and past time frame. So that would force you to use some tenses. So you need to pay attention to that. So how can I transform this one?
Will have been?
Will have been, exactly. We need the future perfect. That will have been on his mind for a long time. And this one is certainly more difficult to change. But we have corrected most of the tenses, if you observe. So we needed to be consistent with this future time frame. Well, Manuel, in number 2, what did you find? What is the first thing you corrected?
Okay, I'm not sure, but in the first sentence we have will, going to, and I'm not sure.
Very good observation. There is no reason to mix these 2 kinds of future. So what did you do?
Change is going to for will.
Exactly. Now, can anybody translate this part into Spanish?
Translate it?
Into Spanish.
La esposa verá al hombre en tal terrible condición.
Ajá. ¿Qué esperan cuando yo tengo esto aquí? La esposa verá al hombre en condición tan terrible.
¿Qué hará?
Que me falta un qué, ¿verdad? Igualito es en inglés. Entonces necesito that y este necesita un sujeto. Aquí para este will necesito un sujetito.
She?
She.
She is the wife, ¿no? The wife will see the man in such a terrible condition that she will run into, no, she will entonces así como que se va a golpear contra la puerta, no, she will run to the door. So this is a reason. Let's see. So adjective that, and here we have a sentence. So a sentence has subject, verb, object, or such. Adjective plus noun, that, and then a sentence. This is a result clause.
Is such that a correlative conjunction?
It's no, this is not a correlative.
Okay.
It's part of the in the chart that we have. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Factors. Why is this not considered logical connectors? What are they? So maybe here, this one. There, the difference between the correlative and the others is that in this case, in the correlatives, you have two sentences. You can have two sentences after each connector. And this is part of the effect or result. And it is a subordinating conjunction. It's in this case. So we have so, adjective, that, and here we have a sentence. And such, adjective, oops, adjective plus noun, that, and this is a sentence. But in this part, this is not a sentence. And in the others, in this case, for example, so you can have a sentence after either and a sentence after or as complete sentence after not only and a sentence after but also. That is why some are correlative and the others are not. Okay, well, so let's go back to where we were. So this is an adverb clause of effect or result. So one, accordingly, we need to say the wife will see the man in such a terrible condition. So we have such plus adjective plus noun that something happens. This is the result. That she will run to the door to obstruct the way. And what?
Won't let the man out.
And won't, because it's future. And won't let the man get out in future. And now, I don't know if you remember, the first time these errors from Kino's cartoon, I mentioned the existence of a certain structure called the causative.
Yep. She will
Okay.
make.
She will make, but if you say make, you cannot use the infinitive. No? So she will make her husband para usar mejor una parallel structure, to clean and shave himself. Ahora que ya conocemos los pronombres reflexivos, sería bueno usarlo, ¿no? To clean and shave himself. So we economize. So I don't know if you remember what I said about the causative. We had essentially 4 modes: have, get, make, and let. This is usually for permission. This is for force. This is when you persuade somebody. And here there is a paid service. Or it is the other person's duty. We have the active and the passive form. So we have somebody, for example, I had the vet operate on my dog. And remember that the changes are going to occur here. The tense is going to change. All the rest is... Entonces, esta oración quiere decir que mandé al veterinario a operar a mi perro. Ajá. Si se entiende que lo lógico es que sea un veterinario el que opere al perro y no interesa decir que es el veterinario, es lo lógico. I had my dog operated on, y esto ya es opcional, by the vet, ¿no? Mandé a operar a mi perro. Pero los cambios nada más van a estar aquí. Toda la otra estructura permanece igual. Entonces, ¿cómo podría decir? Me mandé a sacar unas fotos para pasaporte. ¿Cómo podrían decir? Normalmente hay que pagar por ellas, ¿no?
I have Jake.
No. Fíjate dónde aparece el verbo. Primero está la cosa,
Okay.
subject, verb have, luego la cosa que existe, y luego el past participle. Cuando es activa es subject, subject plus the verb have plus somebody. Este somebody es el que me va a hacer el servicio y esto es simple form. Pero aquí no estoy diciendo quién me saca las fotos. Entonces, ¿cómo digo? Me mandé sacar unas fotos para pasaporte.
I have photos taken.
I had, ¿qué tipo de fotos?
Passport photo.
Passport. Oops. Passports. Fotos. ¿Y luego qué? ¿Qué forma del verbo es esta?
Participle.
what kind of participle. Remember that we studied like 8, no?
Yep. Past participle.
The past
Passive
participle.
voice.
I had passport photos taken. Si quiero decir, me voy a ir a sacar fotos para el pasaporte, ¿cómo lo diría?
I will have passport photos taken.
Bueno, el will no queda muy bien aquí. Me voy a ir a sacar fotos. No dije me iré a sacar fotos, sino me voy a ir a sacar fotos.
I'm going to.
I'm going to have. Y todo lo demás queda igual. Passport photos taken. ¿Cómo puedo decir? Nunca me he mandado a sacar fotos de pasaporte.
I've never have.
No. I've never. ¿Y luego qué más? ¿Y qué más?
Passport photos taken.
Ajá. O sea, esta se mantiene como una constante. Y la de get es igual. En passive voice, they are the same. I got my dog operated on by the vet. It is informal language, or that implies that I persuaded that the veterinarian probably didn't charge so much money. Or that he did the service on Sunday, or when it was not a normal day, something like that. Okay? Well, entonces aquí la señora, pues es obvio que no lo trata de buena manera, ¿no? Entonces, make sería una buena opción, because she forces the husband to do that. So she will make her husband clean and shame himself. Let's continue. Of that, in number 3, again, this is the context. What is the first correction you introduced?
I noticed mistakes in the last sentence, but
so only here? The rest,
yes.
The rest for you is fine?
I think so.
What was the first mistake that we corrected in number 2?
Okay. The future is going to and will.
Exactly. We are mixing 2 types of future.
Yes. And my husband will.
Okay. If you want to start with this going to, the problem is that you have to continue with that.
Okay. He.
As you prefer. So my husband is going to work tomorrow.
He going to.
He what?
He's going to kiss me.
He's going to kiss me.
In the morning.
Do you remember?
Sorry. I have a question. Sorry. Is it a comma place? Can we use and instead of a comma?
Here.
Or a period? Yep.
Yeah, comma splice. You can use or simply nothing and say and, no? And it's going to blah blah blah, so that we have the same subject. There are several solutions, but yet there is a problem there. I don't know if anybody noticed a problem here. Did anybody notice the problem?
We don't use while. Well, we use future when we use while.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
We don't use future when we use while.
We don't use the future. Or what kind of future do we need? Yeah, it's another way to put it.
Future continuous.
No, this is future continuous. But what your partner said is correct. After a while, we cannot use future.
We have to use simple present.
Exactly. But in this case, it's not exactly the simple present because we need a continuous activity. So what kind of present can you use?
Continuous.
Present continuous. So while what?
Clean the house.
O sea, ese es el presente continuo.
While I'm cleaning the house.
While I'm cleaning the house. Because this action is a continuous action, it's not just a moment. So we need to say, while I am cleaning the house. Then, Sandra, did you find any other problem?
No.
No. Did anybody find any other problem?
Maybe instead of furthermore, however, because I think...
Yeah, this furthermore is
weird.
Absolutely extravagant. So what is more reasonable?
I feel that the author was doing a contrast. I used however.
Maybe however. Because we are going to establish a contrast between something that seems happiness, kissing somebody, and the sadness. So however seems more reasonable. Definitely furthermore doesn't fit.
Okay. Then after when again we don't use.
And after when we have exactly the same problem. ¿Se acuerdan de la canción de los Beatles, no? Que les digo. So
when I notice.
When I notice.
Noticing.
That appearance.
Maybe instead of the man could be make, or well, I feel it's the same feel, but
the man sounds a little bit strange. Yeah. The make or order. If you use make, what do you need? I will make him
Prim.
Prim. Ya no necesito todo esto. Prim. So remember that we have subject plus the verb make in any tense, somebody, and then simple form of the verb. So she will make him Prim.
Is it possible bring himself?
Yeah.
Or is too much, or I don't know how to say.
It's clear, bring himself. No? We need the reflexive. And then, is there any other problem?
Bad appearance can go. Sorry. No. Bad appearance without the dash.
This is not a dash, this is a hyphen.
Oh, sorry.
The hyphen is short. The dash is usually 3 times as long.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
The hyphen is to put two words together. For example, well-known, a well-known writer. Mhm. That is a hyphen. And dash is more like a parenthesis or comma. It has a different function. Mhm. All right. Any other problem in number 3?
Yes, in the last sentence, we don't use will for when he finally be ready. Maybe.
What tense is that? Who's speaking?
Mildred.
A ver, Mildred, ¿en qué tiempo va después de when?
Simple present.
Entonces dame el presente del verbo to be.
Is ready.
A ver, sí, ¿no? Estaba espontáneo. Ujú. ¿Y qué hace este for aquí si no es indiscreción? Porque la verdad no lo entiendo.
Is it necessary? We can drop it. Well, I feel that.
We should drop it. It's not that we can, we should, because it doesn't make any sense. So, when he, y este finally va después de is. When he is finally ready, I will kiss him and let him go to. So, as you can see, there were still several problems in number 3. What about number 4? Victoria, any idea where we should start?
Well, I started in. She will be cleaning the candle holder when he comes out with him. Well, I changed, however, and wrote instead so.
So you don't like a contrast. You want a consequence.
Yeah, that's the way I.
Yeah. Does anybody have any observation before?
No.
Okay. Vamos a ver si lo puedo dibujar. This is a candle holder or something like this. Did she have a candle holder?
No.
No. What is the name of the thing she has or she's cleaning?
Yeah, it was a candle holder, no?
¿Así? ¿Así? ¿Era como estos que dibujé?
Yes, as the second one.
¡A ver! ¡Órale! A ver, vamos a
Or
ver.
not.
Vamos a ver. Kino's cartoon. Ay, Dios
Oh.
santo. Ujú.
I think so.
Dios, ¿dónde estamos? Kino. No, estoy buscando esto. Estoy aquí. Vamos a tener que ir aquí. Ujú. It's intense. him. Instructions. Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah, like this one, like the second one.
Yeah.
In my mind, it was always second 11, but okay, I wasn't paying attention. So now this is, what was it? Oh, this. Okay. Right? This is number 4. We are in number 3. This one. Okay, so it's like this one. All right, so she will be cleaning the car for her when he comes out of the room. He will look tired. So do you feel comfortable with this so?
No.
O sea, este so establece que es un resultado lógico. O sea, que en cuanto alguien se ve cansado, la esposa siempre voltea y lo ve. O sea, como si fuera una cosa automática y lógica. No es tan lógico, ¿no? ¿Qué sería mejor que so?
Maybe we can put because before he, because he will look tired, his wife will look up and he's going to notice something like that.
A ver, pero ella está viendo hacia abajo. Ella todavía no sabe que él se ve cansado. ¿Cómo es que ella puede anticipar que como se ve cansado, debe voltear a verlo? No sé si me explico. O sea, el problema aquí está en el up. O sea, ella no se ha dado cuenta que está cansado. Apenas apenas lo va a ver y va a notar algo. ¿Sí me explico?
Yes.
Yep.
O sea, no puede ser esta secuencia. O sea, esta secuencia es simplemente una secuencia de hechos. He will look tired, comma, his wife will look up, and she will notice. O sea, son hechos unos. El hecho 1, fact 1, fact 2, and fact 3. Just like that. Because she has not seen his face. She cannot notice that he's tired. A lo más podemos crear una liga de tiempo. He will look tired, and then his wife will look up and notice something that will make her yell. Something like that. But because of this up, I cannot establish this because or so connection. It's not a cause and effect. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, now, what correction do we need here? She will notice something that will make her what?
Yell at him.
At him. The preposition is at. Mm-hmm.
Well, I make a research.
I did
a research.
Mm-hmm.
And I found, I don't know if I am correct, but when you use yell to, it means that you are laughing, so you are screaming or something like that. And when you are yell at, so you are anger to that, you are anger.
¿Y a ti qué te parece? ¿Que la señora estaba riendo o estaba enojada?
No, riendo. ¿Cómo se dice? Gritando, screaming, or well, screaming, no, gritándole, o sea, yell to estaba gritando, yell at se enojó con él. I don't know if I call it.
Le gritó, pero enojada. Yell at somebody is to speak in a louder voice. It's not just speak at the normal volume.
Okay.
It's with a higher volume.
So the preposition is yell at. Okay.
Yell at. Usually, when you are reacting at somebody, the preposition is at. You can be angry with somebody, but if you are reacting to something that the person did, you are angry at somebody.
Okay.
So, she will be cleaning the candle holder when he comes out of the room. He will look tired, his wife will look up, and she will notice something that will make her yell at him. And then, what do you propose, Lucero?
We need to change going to for will.
It's a good idea, yeah.
He will return to the room.
And a shower. This is even more obvious because there is no reason to mix the two tenses. We'll return to the room and we'll take a shower.
Still, I think he will be still tired.
No. He still will be tired. It's fine. That is a correct decision.
Okay.
This is a curious adverb that is usually not between the auxiliary and the main verb. It's before the auxiliary. No sé si recuerdan una canción muy vieja de YouTube, ¿no? Dice, todavía no he encontrado lo que estoy buscando. ¿Cómo se llama la canción? ¿O qué dice la canción?
Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
I still haven't found, va antes del auxiliar, ¿no? I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Okay. And then what is the next change we have to introduce, Gabriel?
In number 4?
In number 4, yeah.
Well, for me, those are the only corrections, but I'm not sure.
But look, you have to be consistent.
Okay.
Oh, bingo!
So, well, on the where it says he will look, maybe we can change that he will be looking.
Where are you?
And in the first sentence of the number 4.
In the first sentence?
Yeah, sorry, in the second sentence.
In the second sentence, no. We are just correcting the last sentence, my dear. All the rest we have already corrected. We are correcting the last one.
Okay. I don't quite get it, teacher.
Okay, so we have will be, will. ¿No te llama la atención esto?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, pues sí, o sea, no está revolviendo. Porque uno de ellos es solo para predicciones generales. Y el otro es para planes y cosas muy lógicas. Pero si ya empecé con uno, casi que no puedo estar mezclando. So please correct.
Well, it could be his wife will look at him. And will say to him goodbye.
And will say goodbye to him. No.
Yeah, to him at the end.
But it's not to say to him goodbye. No, say goodbye to him. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, did anybody identify the problem here? essentially there are two problems. One, maybe you are able to notice it. The other is very difficult. Does anybody have an idea? Abigail, Axel, Monse.
Only when she has approved his outfit.
Okay. So we know that when we use when, we cannot use we. When she, what did you say?
She has approved.
She has approved, and we need the preposition of his outfit. Okay. Now we have a problem derived from the fact that this writer decided to start with the word only. There are some rules for inverted order. First of all, the standard order of a sentence an affirmative or negative sentence is this or this. Oops. Looks very strange. So this is the standard order of a sentence. But I think, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find the exercise, and let me see if we have done it together so that you can try to remember something. Logical connectors. Okay. Oh no, we never studied these correlative conjunctions like this. Apparently not.
No, we didn't.
We didn't have time. So let me explain something. Lower group, search. Well, so there are some cases where this order is altered. Inverted order is necessary in some cases. There are different types of inverted order. For example, the most classical case that you know is with the expletives. Expletive there, or the expletive here. When we say there, many foreign students at UNAM. Or there lots of pollution in Mexico City. So this is a classical case of inverted order. So what is the verb to complete the first one?
There are many.
So the real subject, is placed after the verb. There is. Well, this is one case, you know it's not a major problem. Another case of inverted order is one example that we saw when we studied the subject-verb agreement rules. I mentioned 2 or 3 cases where we have complement of place, or direction. An intransitive verb, and then the subject. For example, next to the entrance lay some old bicycles. So this is the complement of place and direction. This is the intransitive verb, and this is the subject. Another case of inverted order that maybe you have seen in other courses, I don't know, is the case where you have negative or almost negative words in initial position. In this case, the inverted order adopts the form of a question. But no question mark because this is not a question. Standard sentence would be something like this. I have never been to Six Flags. But the inverted order for extra emphasis is when I start with never. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? Si la pongo al principio, ¿cuál va a ser la primera palabra entonces?
Never.
Never. Y luego tiene que tener forma de pregunta todo lo demás. Never qué.
Have I been to Six Flags?
Have I been to Six Flags? The word can be almost negative. For example, the standard order, I seldom or hardly ever, as you wish, go to the theater. So what is the inverted order? In what tense is this? Well, what is the almost negative word?
Seldom, hardly ever.
Or hardly. Okay, let's choose seldom. Then all the rest should be a question.
Seldom do I go to the...
Exactly. Seldom do I go to the theater. So basically the same rule to restrictive expressions. Restrictive expressions of time or manner. After this, and how do we recognize that they are restrictive? Because they start with only plus a time or manner expression. And then after this, we are going to need question form. So let's go to the sentence that we are discussing. For extra emphasis, this person decided to start with only. Este when me dice que esta es la time expression. Entonces, esta de acá va a estar afectada por el inverted order. ¿Cómo debería quedar esto?
only when she has approved of his outfit will she kiss him back and let him go.
Only when she has approved of his outfit. Entonces tengo aquí la restricción y tengo la time expression, todo esto. Entonces ahora esto tiene forma de pregunta. Will she kiss him back and let him go? So this was difficult because you didn't know this rule. But when you want to experiment these things, well, now you should know how. Any other question about these corrections?
I just have one question. In example number 3, sometimes we have is going to, in others we have will, but we have to do all the sentence with going to.
Pardon? Can you express your... So, I think I understand. We said is going to here, and the others are will?
Yes.
In this case, I accepted this mix because of the logic of the ideas that are expressed. These two are very predictable because your husband goes to work every day. So my husband is going to work tomorrow. This sounds like something super predictable. And apparently this woman knows that every time he leaves home, she has this behavior of kissing the man. So for that reason, I would accept or that he's going to kiss her, sorry. So these are things that he does all the time.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
For that reason, I accept that. But if you want to transform all the paragraph using going to, I would accept it. However, my husband is going to be sad because of his work. Entonces aquí ya estás implicando que tú sabes que a él ese trabajo lo hace infeliz. No es nada más que ese día se va a ver triste, sino que tú sabes que esto ya es un problema más de fondo. When I notice his bad appearance, aquí no tenemos otra opción porque está when, I will make him bring himself. Entonces, este es como un if clause. El will make sale muy natural, pero si quieres usar going to, se puede usar ahí. En la segunda parte. Con when, no. When I notice his bad appearance, I'm going to make him bring. Pero eso significaría que él siempre se va desalineado al trabajo y tú siempre lo reconvienes y le dices que no haga eso, que se bañe, ¿no? Pero pues aquí regresamos al cartón original. El señor trae un bloque de cemento atado al cuello. Entonces, no creo que diario lo dejen ir así a trabajar. Es una situación especial. Él se va a suicidar ese día.
Okay, I get it, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? No? Well.
Nope.
So, if no more questions, we had some homework in Frank, the participial phrases, right?
Yes.
So these were only 4, and you had to to choose very quickly if you needed one version with commas and the other without commas. So I am going to give you 4 minutes for you to compare this. It should be more than enough. In reality, I think 3 minutes is going to be enough. So here we go, 3 minutes.
The first one without commas.
Has a with. And the second one, my best friend, comma, who has achieved success early in life, comma, became very bored with life.
Yeah. Okay. Mm. And in number 6, letter A.
Now I listen, but I could. So number 6, what did you say?
Letter A with commas and letter B without commas.
Yes. Number 7, A without commas, and number B with commas. You have it like that? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have it like that.
Do you have it or you have it the other way?
Sorry again. There's number 7. Yeah, letter A without commas and letter B with commas. Yes.
Okay. And number 8, letter A with commas and B without.
All right. So, Remy, number 5, A and B, please.
Yes. I tell you which one has the commas.
You have to tell me everything, yeah.
Okay. A person having achieved success early in life may become bored with life. And B, my best friend having achieved success early in life became very bored with life. And the second one, the B, has the commas.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 6, Monse.
Yes, Mrs. Johnson, comma, not satisfied with the service in the store, comma, complained to the management. And letter B, any customer not satisfied with the service in the store may complain to the management.
Okay. Does everybody agree?
Yes.
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 Ignacio.
People living a life of great luxury without commas are often healers of the suffering of the poor.
Are you asking me?
No.
No.
The second, the millionaire's son, comma, living a life of great luxury, was often healers of the suffering of the poor.
I only heard one comma.
The millionaire's son, living a life of great luxury, was often healers of the suffering of the poor.
How many commas did you use there?
2 commas.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Axel?
The handsome actor, much admired by women, became very vain and arrogant. A man much admired by women may become very vain and arrogant. The first one has commas.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, for homework, you're going to do the rest. And remember what we have said, that it's possible to put things in a different position. Just be careful where to put things, because sometimes we can create a little bit surrealistic ideas. So this is only possible when the sentence has commas, when the relative clause has commas. So the commas give me the freedom to move this information somewhere else. But in this particular case, for example, can I move the information to the beginning, to the end, both, or only one of the options is possible?
Only at the beginning. Oh,
Only at the beginning. Because if I put the information at the end, I am modifying the life. It's not very logical. So I can say, having achieved success early in life, comma, my best friend became very bored with life. But the other way, with the information at the end, doesn't make sense. But the same happens every time you have commas. You have this extra possibility to replace, to relocate the participial phrase in a position that gives you more fluency in the sentence. Well, let's see how well you remember things, how good your memory is. So what is the verb? What is the action in number 1?
Breaking the shovel.
What is it? Number 1?
Breaking the leaves.
raking the leaves. And what is the name of the object?
Rake.
A rake. In this case, what is the action?
Digging up
Digging
the
up
garden.
the garden.
Digging up the garden. And what tool is necessary for that action?
A shovel.
Shovel.
What is this guy doing in picture 3?
Watering the garden.
He need to do that.
Hose.
A hose.
Hose. What is the guy doing in picture 4?
Building
the
a
fence.
fence.
Building a fence. With a hammer.
The name of this is a fence. Building up a fence. And what tool is necessary?
A hammer.
Hammer.
Hammer. What is the action in number 5?
Sewing.
Sewing. The wood.
In the wood. The wood. And what tool is necessary?
A saw.
So,
And finally, what is the guy doing picture 6?
fixing the roof.
And what does he need?
A ladder.
If you go to your file in the Google Classroom, your file has first this, which is what you already practiced. But then if you move forward, you only have the pictures so that you can challenge yourselves and practice just by memory. Okay, so I would recommend using the second page. And do you remember the dialogue?
More or less.
So,
What was the first question?
Why aren't
Why
Aren't
you?
aren't you, for example, in number 1, why aren't you what?
raking the
The lawn.
Leaves. And the answer?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
I was going to, but I couldn't. And the reaction of the first person?
Why
not? Why not?
No. And then you give an excuse.
I couldn't
I could find a rake.
Por eso que tienen que practicar el posesivo. I couldn't find a rake.
Oh.
And then what is the suggestion the other guy gives?
Well, Brad.
Siempre van con Brad, ¿no? Según él. Y en ese momento a ustedes les cae el 20 y dicen...
That's our things.
That's where
Brad doesn't own a rake.
Brad doesn't own a rake, a shovel, a hose, whatever. Okay? So, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to give you, let's say, 5 minutes for you to practice your dialogues as fluently and quickly as possible and changing roles. Try to use the page where there are no verbs so that you challenge your memory. So, let's see. Let me see. Five minutes, go ahead.
Hi. Well, do you want to start or me? I fix my microphone, but I don't know.
Hi?
Can you hear me, Monse?
Hi? 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 Now you hear me?
I can hear you, and you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Do you want to start or me? I don't
Yes.
remember very well the
Okay, I help you. Why aren't you raking the leaves? And you said, I was going to, but I couldn't.
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find
Rake. Uh-huh. Go. Well, go borrow brats.
That's where our is. Brad doesn't own a rake.
Uh-huh. Yes.
That's where our is. Brad doesn't own a rake.
Yes, that's right. Now,
You want to repeat the number one?
yes. Yes.
Why aren't you raking the leaves?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find a rake.
Go borrow brats.
Uh-huh. That's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a rake. Yeah, thank you. Well, my turn. Why aren't you digging the garden?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our shovel.
Well, go borrow brats.
That's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a shovel.
Yes.
Why aren't you digging up the garden?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our shovel.
Well, go borrow brats.
Uh-huh. That's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a shovel. Okay, next one. Why aren't you watering the garden?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our housework.
Go borrow brats.
That's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a shovel.
A hose. A hose.
That's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a hose.
Okay.
Why aren't you digging the fence? Digging the fence. Why aren't you building the fence?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our hammer.
Well, go borrow brats.
Aha, that's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a hammer.
Hammer. Fence.
All right, picture one. Laura and Odette.
Okay. Why aren't you raking the leaves?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find a rake.
Well, go borrow Brad's.
Aha, that's where ours is. Brad doesn't own our rake.
Good. Victor and Manuel, number 2, please.
Why aren't you digging up the garden?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our shovel.
Well, go borrow Brad's.
That's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a shovel.
It's aha, not that has another meaning, but okay. Victoria and Larissa, number 3.
Yes. Why aren't you watering the garden?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our hose.
Well, go borrow Brad's.
Aha, that's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a hose.
Thank you. Gabriel and Sayer, number 4.
Yes. Why aren't you building the fence?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I could find a hammer.
Well, go borrow Brad's.
Aha, that's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a hammer.
Thank you. Hugo and Monse, number 5.
I was going to, but I couldn't. I couldn't find or saw. Aha, that's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a saw.
Thank you. All right. Axel and Jessica, number 6.
Okay. Why aren't you fixing the roof?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our ladder.
Well, go borrow Brad's.
Aha, that's where ours is. Brad doesn't own a ladder.
Thank you. Ignacio and Oli, number 3, please.
Aren't you raking the leaves?
Number 3.
Sorry.
Pardon?
I thought you were asking me number 1.
No, number 3.
Start. You.
You start, Ignacio. Go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Why aren't you watering the flowers?
I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our house.
Well, go borrow James's.
Aha, that's where ours is. James's doesn't own a house.
Okay, hold on. James's is a possessive. Brad's is possessive. The nominative case is Brad or James.
Okay.
He complicated your life, so you have to take the challenge. So why not? Can you start all over again, please?
Aren't you watering the flowers?
Where is your partner? Pauline? She disappeared. Okay, Abigail, can you take the challenge?
Yes. He asked why not?
No, he just asked why you were not watering the flowers, he said.
Okay. Why aren't you watering the garden?
No, he asked you that.
Oh, okay. I was going to, but I couldn't.
Why not?
I couldn't find our house.
Well, go borrow James's.
Aha, that's where ours is. James doesn't own a house.
Mhm. Okay. Is there anybody missing? Hugo and Monse, did you participate?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I think everybody has. All right. So your homework, remember, is in the same exercise that we were inserting the participial phrase with or without commas in the sentences that were offered. So you finish that exercise for homework. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow.
See you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher. You.
So the Laura, who's that? Lucero, Manuel, Gabriel.
Hi, teacher. I apologize for my absence the last class. The light was gone in my house.
Oh my God. There was a blackout, we call.
Yeah, blackout. Yes, I live in Xochimilco, so there's a lot.
Oops. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. This, for this kind of class, we depend on electricity, unfortunately. So, well, that's the way things are. All right. So, we had to ask questions, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Asking questions. We had to finish with number 4. Now let's see. So, Hugo, can you give me the yes, no question? I suppose you meant locked up. I suppose. Esto es lock y esto es lock. Son dos verbos diferentes. Uno es lock y otro es lock. ¿Ah? O sea, por ejemplo, nosotros decimos tengo un locker. Locker. No, porque está cerrado con llave. A ver. The first thing I said is give me the yes, no question. If you include a question, sí, no, el primer problema es si tú me das una question word, yo no te puedo decir, what's your name? Yes. What's your name? No, no puedo. The word what is forcing me to give you some information. So, this is not possible. Oh. Locked up, locked. Locked up. Locked up. Locked up. A ver. This is an auxiliary. Es de la misma familia de can, could, shall, should, will, would, may. It doesn't combine with another auxiliary. It's not possible. So this is the auxiliary. So should the door be carefully locked up and then when you leave the house? So we need to include this information here when we leave the house. Yes, should is the auxiliary, okay? Well, that is why it is so important to first ask the yes-no question, because later, most of the time, the others are a derivation of this one. So, give me any of your information questions, Gabriel.
Yes, teacher. I wrote, what should be carefully locked up when you leave the house?
Okay. And the answer is the door. Any other question, Laura?
I'm not sure, but I try. When you should be careful, lock the door up. When no. When you should be careful.
Okay.
No. When you should be careful, lock it up.
A ver.
What
sentence is in passive voice? Should be carefully locked up.
Okay.
No se sabe quién cierra la puerta. Se entiende que un ser humano, pero no se sabe quién exactamente. O sea, una vez que tienes la pregunta correcta aquí, las demás son variaciones de esa.
What should okay? What should what you should lock up?
Okay. Voy a escribirla yo porque ya se me está acabando el tiempo.
Sorry.
Si tú me dices what you should, la estás haciendo active voice. Y entonces necesito que sea así. What should you close? Ya no be locked, o sino lock. O sea, lo voy a usar en voz activa. Should you lock up carefully?
Okay.
O sea, porque tú estás queriendo que tú, la persona con la que hablas, sea la que cierre la puerta. Pero aquí no nos interesa quién la cerró, sino simplemente que quede cerrada. Se entiende que algún humano siguió la instrucción.
Yeah, I in the first of all, I used that what should you, but in the final I changed it. I don't know.
In the end.
In the end, okay.
Okay. A ver, ¿alguien más tiene una pregunta? Look, ya voy a cobrar por eso. When should the door, pero no es look, aquí está, miren. Locked up, locked. Look es ver y locked es cerrar con llave. When should the door be locked up carefully? Locked up carefully. Locked up. The answer, when you leave the house.
Now, I have another one.
Okay.
When you leave the house, what should you do?
Okay,
Is it possible?
Ajá, es posible, pero tú insistes en formularlas en voz activa.
Okay. What you should do. What you should do.
Espérame tantito. Te la voy a poner para que veas la diferencia.
Ajá.
In the house, me preguntas en voz activa, what should you
do?
Este es active.
Coma.
Sí, bueno, si quieres coma, le ponemos la coma, ¿no?
Sí.
Pero la oración está en voz pasiva, entonces, what should be done? Esta es la pregunta.
Okay.
Cuando se sale de esta casa, ¿qué se debe hacer? No es que debes tú el que te está hablando, sino cualquiera, ¿qué se debe hacer? Cerrar la puerta con llave. Ahora, ¿alguien hizo una pregunta para carefully?
Yeah, me.
Okay, Manuel.
How should the door be when you leave the house?
Ah, te falta el verbo que no les gusta pronunciar.
Yeah.
How should it be?
How should be locked
up?
Locked up.
The door when you leave the house.
When you leave the house. How? And the answer, carefully.
Carefully.
When. Bueno, ya prácticamente se acabó el tiempo. Entonces, ahora no lo escribí, lo tienen que copiar ustedes, esto que les voy a poner. Aquí. This is the sentence. Cópienla. The director will give a speech in the graduation ceremony. Cópienla, por favor. The director will give a speech in the graduation ceremony. Okay.
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 Luego. El ejercicio 1 es igualito a lo que hemos estado haciendo. Ask the yes/no question and all the possible information questions. Ese ya ni copien la instrucción. Es igual a lo que han venido haciendo. La segunda instrucción es la que es diferente. Change the sentence to simple present, present perfect, and simple past in 3 forms: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. O sea, de este ejercicio 2 salen 9 oraciones. So it's the same sentence. The director will give a speech in the graduation ceremony, to simple present, present perfect, and simple past in 3 forms: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
And the first exercise is like the other homework that we have been doing. Ask the yes/no question in future, because this sentence is in future, and all the possible information questions you can. Well,